Hi guys, so here is another one of the first time I've ever watched kind of videos. So I just recently watched Tom and Jerry's movie that came out a couple of years ago during COVID. Not a couple years ago, I think it was like a year and a half ago, maybe. I don't even know. It's a movie that I've been wanting to see, and I went to my library and they had it, so I watched it on the DVD. And I have some thoughts. I will be spoiling the movie, but I don't recommend anyone to watch this. So let's get started. Um, yeah, this is no, not might. This is the most boring Tom and Jerry thing I have ever watched. It is so boring. The reason I watch Tom and Jerry is because I like Tom and Jerry fighting each other. I like the comedic ways it's done. I like the idea of Tom and Jerry. It's the feeling that I watch from watching Tom and Jerry. I don't care about these people and this girl who lied about a resume and then, oh no, they found out. Oh no, and now everything's messed up and now this married couple won't get married. I don't care. It's all of these it's so stupid little things that happen in every single movie. Like you'd expect. The plot is this girl lies about something, then is going really well, and she got the job she wanted, and then she took the leader guy's job, and she's the head of everyone, and everything seems to go really well, and then right before the climax, everything goes bad, and people find out that she lied, and then everything falls apart because of it, and then right at the end of the movie, everything's fixed. It's so boring. I don't watch Tom and Jerry for boring people. I watch Tom and Jerry for Tom and Jerry. Which I don't think they understood that. Tom and Jerry were throughout most of the movie, Tom was just a worker at a hotel, which is so boring. And the parts that were, they did regular Tom and Jerry things I thought were okay, but it was so boring from the other parts that I don't even know. The one thing I will say is the animation of the cartoon characters are really, really good. That's what I will say. Sometimes there's a funny joke because they're self-aware, but it's not funny enough to help the movie out. I think this movie is so boring. I don't think there's a single drop of creativity in this movie other than the animation. The animation is really, really great, and I loved it, but it was put in a crappy movie. You could have really great actors. I like some of these actors. One of them is an Ant-Man, and I really like him in Ant-Man. But no, they're just given the most, you've seen this before, and we're not going to do anything new with it. It's just the same exact thing you've seen every single time. The actors do a relatively good job. I wouldn't say they're amazing or anything. It's just they're doing a relatively good job, but they're given a boring script. It doesn't matter how good your animation is or how good your actors are. It doesn't matter. If you're given a terrible story, it's not going to go well. It's like my problem with season 2 of High School Musical, the musical, the series. They have great music, they have great actors. It's just the story was so boring and nothing was going well, except for that episode where the performance was. I liked that episode, but every other episode in this season 2 was so boring. There wasn't anything original about it. They were taking themselves seriously, so it wasn't even like, we know we're doing something really dumb here, but follow with us, because it's like they did in season 1. It was just nothing original, not even a way of, yeah, we know this is really bad, but just come along with us, and we know, we're self-aware. It wasn't even like that. And that's the issue with this movie. It was sometimes self-aware, but it was like, ha ha ha, it'd be funny if we said this one thing like, it's like you've been fighting for years. Yeah, it's because they have been fighting for years. The show's been on television for a really, really long time now. But, like, what? What? That's not going to save your movie if occasionally there's like, oh, here's this funny joke. We can be self-aware and not self-aware for all the other parts of the movie. I am not very happy with this. It is just boring, and I was expecting a lot from this movie. I love the original Tom and Jerry cartoons. I love them. I think they're funny, and it's just it's a really nostalgic thing for me, and I was really excited to see this, and it's just the girl is lying and bad things happen. I don't care about the people in this movie. I don't care. Yeah, they're good actors and they do a good job with what they're given, but I don't care about any of these characters. I don't remember any of their names. There's a reason I've only said Tom and Jerry's name, and it's because I don't remember any of their names at all. This movie, oh my goodness, it's so boring. Nothing happens. You don't feel any connections between any of the characters other than Tom and Jerry, and that's just because of the cartoons. And then they're like, yeah, we're self-aware, but only when we want to be, because I feel like there was one screenwriter who was like, oh yeah, we might want to be kind of self-aware. Oh, here's a funny joke. It's been done a million times, but we can kind of be self-aware. And I laughed. I think, like 4 or 5 times in the movie. It's not a very funny movie. Which I also thought was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a funny movie, and it's not. It's not funny. And sometimes they think it's funny, but it's just the comedy just falls on its face. There's nothing funny about unoriginal jokes. Sometimes they can be funny. Sometimes. Very little. But if you have an original idea and it's a joke that's actually has some heart and makes sense with the story, I'm gonna laugh. But if it doesn't, I'm just going to be angry because the joke doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'd heard good things about this movie, so maybe there's just things I'm not seeing. But I don't think this was a good movie. I don't recommend people to watch it. It just made me angry. There's nothing horrible. Like, it's nowhere near as bad as the Cat in the Hat remake or the Percy Jackson movies, but it's not good. It's not good by any means. I will never watch this movie again. I don't plan to anytime soon. If I do, it's because someone else wants to watch it, not because I do. Rue, I watched this with Rue, and she didn't even watch it all the way through because she thought it was boring. Rue has a really short attention span, so sometimes she does that, but like she did it with the Thor movies, other than Ragnarok. She loved Ragnarok. But the first 2 Thor movies, she left because she thought they were boring, but those movies are also really boring. So it's not like this is a new occurrence, but she never does that at something she actually thinks is good. And normally, if she leaves because she thinks it's boring, she's like, yeah, it was just boring, it wasn't for me. For this, she actually said it was a bad movie. So it's not just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's some mind-blowing thing about this movie that makes people love it so much. And if you love it, go for it. I'm happy you can enjoy something I can't, but I don't plan on watching this anytime soon. Yeah, I think it's a boring mess. The acting's okay, but with the terrible script they're giving, they can't do anything interesting with it. And the animation of Tom and Jerry and all the other cartoon characters is really good, but this overall story is just, they needed a better screenwriter and they didn't get that. So yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this review, and please stay safe. I love you 3000. Bye, guys.